evening, and thank you for tuning in to another week with Fathers Who Care. And as always, you know we love it when we get an opportunity to come to you, the viewing audience, to talk about some of the things that's going on in the day. I got our guest tonight, Ramonda.
Yes.
Come on, look in here so they can see who you are, so you'll be acting like a stranger.
Hi, I'm Ramonda Davis Hudson.
That's Ramonda Davis Hudson, and she's going to talk specifically about the need for a strong parental environment in the lives of our children. We need a real agenda in our community if we really want to save our children and kind of get our children away from underage drinking, substance abuse, and violence. There needs to be serious role modeling in the neighborhood. Would you believe that?
Yes, I do.
And also, for the most part, we have young folks today who really want better out of lives, but for some reason or another, sometimes we've kind of strained them. We've spoiled them. You know, we've given them too much. So some of them don't really understand the value of working hard for something or having to put the work in. So we're going to talk to some of our young leaders tonight, and they're going to tell us how they feel about the relationships they have with their parents and how they feel about the relationship they have with their elders. And we're going to talk to our young people about what do they think an agenda in the community should be. I guess it's going to be none other than one of our faithful ones, my Sheila. She'll be coming up in here in a little while. But right now we want to ask Ms. Hudson before she allows the young folks to come in to tell us. Now we want to talk about tonight how to create unity and harmony in our community, right? We want to bring hope back into our community. For some reason or another, it appears that folks are living hopelessly. You know, they aimlessly doing whatever they're doing out here for whatever reason. But tell me, how do you feel, particularly, Ramona, well, how do you feel and what do you feel should be the agenda for the African American community, the black community, in order to empower us to be more wholesome and to be more nurturing with each other?
My first thought is, what comes to my mind?
Yeah, what comes to your mind?
First and foremost, we lost God.
We lost God.
That is the first and foremost, and you can really see it. A lot of shooting in neighborhoods, in the schools, in high school, grade schools. You can really see it. Not sure what's going on at home, what's going on in the neighborhoods. In the 80s, I'm from the era of the 80s, was a lot of drugs that came in. But so before that, it was beautiful. Beautiful.
Right.
But as soon as the 80s, the drugs came in the 80s, total decline. And it seemed like we never got back up to that part.
So are you saying that we, as a community, we've lost our values?
Morality?
Morals and
Yes.
values. Are you saying that as a community that we're not supporting, uplifting, empowering each other, we're not spiritually led?
I believe so, yeah.
So what can we do to get the people back on the same page to understand the importance of family, the importance of empowering each other, the importance of empowering our young people, and also the importance of making sure that we work together to empower each other?
Well, I always feel that we need to keep God first.
God.
And in the household, today, there's not a lot of fathers in home. There's not a lot of two parents.
So you believe that if you had both parents in the home, and again, you watch your Fathers Who Care, the number here is 312-738-1060. We're talking about how to bring unity and harmony back into our community, and what is the leadership, or what should be the agenda for the black community moving forward. We had the election, we had everybody making promises. Now what are you promising to go back to your community or to your family and do to make sure that you stay focused? You say we need to get back closer with God.
Yes.
You said that we need to get back in touch with our moralities,
Yes.
our morals, our values, and our ethics. And then we need to have a level of respect for our line and our lineage of where we came from.
Not only that, but the younger people need to respect the older people.
That's
too.
what I mean.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
exactly what I mean.
Yes.
Because right now I think we got so many young people now who, for whatever reason, they just feel what? What do they feel?
I don't know.
You don't know. And I don't know.
Exactly.
So we're going to talk to young people and ask young people later on what are they feeling and why they feel it. But I'm saying this to the young people, and I'm saying this to those who are watching. Thank you, Josephine, for watching. Thank you, Geraldine Hines and Vernell. I'm telling you all that we're here today to talk specifically about what can we do to rebuild our community. I hear folks out here talking about the election. The election is what the election is, all right? Now we got to get back to reality.
Yeah.
The reality is our babies are dying. I saw some episodes today of shootings today with the woman getting shot by Elgin police. And she was in a burning car, and then next thing I know, they were shooting her. So, and then there's so much stuff going on that we really need to, we need to be mindful of each other and support each other. So, Romana, tell us, what should the agenda be if we really wanted to rebuild our neighborhood? What would be the agenda in the black community if we was really trying to rebuild our neighborhoods and our young people? What should it be?
You know what comes to my mind?
No, what comes to your mind?
Tupac.
Tupac.
Why I say that?
Who is Tupac?
Tupac was a young man that was a really good rapper.
Look, I know who he is. I'm just joking with you.
But
go ahead. Tell me why you say Tupac.
In one of his songs, he said they would make the babies and hate the ladies. And that, I'm starting to see a lot of that.
Okay.
We have a lot of single women raising kids.
And you're saying that to say what? Because that's kind of
two ways.
The plight of the African American community in some sense. Why is that?
Two things I see. I don't know if the women are being nurtured by their mom or grandmother. On the other hand, I'm thinking that, of course, the father isn't there. You have guys just getting with young girls, but then once they become pregnant, you don't want to have nothing to do with them.
Ooh, excuse me on that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They don't want to have anything to do with them. But you just laid down with her. How can you disown your seed? How do a person do that? So that's what I feel.
Well, now you was talking. So now, in essence, you were talking about trying for women to regain their self-respect and their dignity.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well,
if they could, I know we're living in an age where sex is supposed to be everything, but let's change it. Young women, let's change it. Make these guys wait.
Okay.
Make them wait.
Well, they'll respect you more if they did wait.
Oh, yes,
But let me
will.
give you this here tonight. There's a reform meeting, Chicago Police Department meeting with the Attorney General. The Illinois Attorney General has sued the Chicago Police Department with a court order, a consent decree, and the whole purpose of the consent decree was they was negotiating. They're having a roundtable discussion to discuss how to make meaningful relationships and input from the law enforcement department and the community. So they're coming together on the 27th, that's Tuesday, at the Life Center, 2622 West Jackson Boulevard. Roundtable, and they're going to have ways on how we can come together and work together, the law enforcement and the community, to kind of bridge some of these gaps. And the attorney is now negotiating with a plan to change some of the policies and trainings of CPD. Now they're saying that all police are not bad, but they want to create some training, sensitivity training. I'll tell you, I saw today on the news this young lady. I didn't see the young lady, but she was in this car, and the police was trying to get her out of the car.
Okay.
They say she had knives in her hands. I don't know. I didn't see the knives. They also say she set the car on fire while she was in the car. I saw the fire. All right. Then I saw that they was coming to her to try to get her out the car, and they was going to tase her and get her out the car. But for some reason or another, I don't know what transpired, but for some reason or another, they say that the woman ended up with 2 knives on her hand, and they shot her.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm saying to you all, look at the news. Let's see what's going on with this, because I'm sure she was a mother. I'm sure somebody loved her. I'm sure, that's that type of... I just don't believe, personally, everything I'm hearing. All right? And I just want to know, because that's somebody's daughter.
Yeah.
Probably someone's mother.
Yeah.
And I don't know the circumstances other than what I saw, but this is another saying that we're talking about right here, sensitivity training for law enforcement. But back to you. And thank you so much, as always, Romana, for being sweet as you are. And we want to thank all of you all who are watching right now. We want to talk about what is the agenda, or what should be the agenda in the black community? And what should we get back in touch with in order to empower our people? It's rather simple. We want to get back in touch with what's going on in the neighborhood, what's going on with our people. And if we want our babies to be the best, we got to teach them the best.
Yeah.
So do you have any closing comment before we bring on our next guest?
I would like to close with saying that young people, there's nothing wrong with holding on to morality. Look to the sky. Go after your dreams. Boys will be there. Girls will be there. And it's okay to date, but try not to jump into sex quick.
Right.
Because it will take you to a road that you're gonna regret later. Not regret, but you have definitely, it'll come back to you. I should have waited. Well, you'll make your bed. Basically, you'll end up making your bed. See, when you go to school, to grade school, to high school, hold on. There's so many things to enjoy in high school. See college. Look towards that.
Absolutely.
And
while you have a chance.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Life is kind of short these days.
No, it's not kind of short. It is short. So we want to thank Romana Davis Hudson for stepping in with us. And what we want to do now is we want to take it to another level. And we want to bring in. Let's get this caller before you do that, okay, sister? Before you make that move, let's get the call. Go ahead, caller. Caller, your comment or question. We have our sister here, Sister Hudson, Romana Hudson, and we're talking about what is the agenda for the community and what can we do in order to bring unity and harmony back into our community and bring hope back into the hopeless. Go ahead, tell us your comment.
My comment is one of the things we can do is we can bring prayer back into the schools, and start teaching our children how to be respectful, and I think that would make a big impact on the community because our youth are a big part of our community. And, I believe that our youth, are, because they're so corrupt in their minds and the things that they're doing, they're causing a lot of, disruption in our, community.
Well, you know what? I think you said that earlier. Thank you for the call, and we'll entertain that call. You were saying that more that folks need God in their lives.
Yeah.
But can people make mistakes though?
All the time.
They make them all the time, right?
All the time.
So, but they just don't stay that way. They just keep on trying, right?
Your mistake should be your learning process.
So, and she was talking about prayer, bringing prayer back into the lives of our young people. Because our young people might just be going through some stuff and they just don't know. Or
actually, not just our young people.
Grown folks too.
Yeah.
Are you going through something?
Oh, yeah.
I know I am. We all going through it. But let's do this here. Let's do this, and thank you again, Romana.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and flip that, and we're going to make the transition, and we're going to bring in one of the young folks, and you can be in the audience for a minute.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, too. Here's go ahead and sign that for me. And we're going to grab that young lady that's coming in, who's going to come in and give us some good advice on what young people are thinking. I think she's coming down the block right now. She looked like she's coming down the block. That's good. And so we want to make sure that she comes on in, and then we're going to have some conversation with our dear, I think that's what's her name coming? Yeah, that's her. That's her. It looks like it. It looks like, there she go. What's your name? Sheila, did you hear what our guest Romana was talking about earlier?
Yeah, I heard her.
She was talking about how to bring morality back into the neighborhood, to the young folks' lives, into the homes. What do you think about what she was saying in relationship to young folks being more actively involved, back in prayer, being more actively involved in taking their time and morality and your virtue, Go ahead. Did you hear what she said? What you thought about it?
So what I feel is like everybody, going back to what she said about just having parents in a household.
Yeah, the father and the mother, right?
Right. So for me, for my personal experience, I feel like one parent is needed because throughout all 17 years I've been living, my mom, she's been my support system, and I turned out perfectly fine. I'm getting ready to graduate next year. My grades are good. I don't have nothing to worry about, and she's been supporting me ever since, she even let me make my own decisions.
Yeah, well, you're still young.
Right.
Right? You're 17. Right?
Mhm.
Right. Do you pay rent?
No.
Do you pay water bill?
No.
Light bill?
No.
So what happened to the decisions? You don't want to pay them?
I could when I get a job. I can help her.
Absolutely. So this is what we was talking about. We was talking about for you to be young and enjoy being young, all right? You know, don't rush. That's what she was saying, basically. Don't rush for you to, don't rush to get older.
Right.
And have to face all the bills and responsibilities. We want you to enjoy being a young person, 17. But what she was also talking about, and we're talking about bringing unity and harmony back into the home. We're talking about bringing a real agenda back into the community. So if we're going to bring a real black agenda in the neighborhood and we want to bring hope back into the hopeless, then we want to bring back the foundation of the family.
Right.
So the real foundation of the family is the father and the mother.
Right.
Now I understand, and most folks would talk about it, I don't need no man, I don't need no man. Yeah, you did need a man before, all right?
Right, but that's like the American dream. Like,
What's the American dream?
the American dream is being in a privileged neighborhood with a man and a wife, the kids at a good school, basically living everybody else's dream, following other people's expectation instead of living out your own dream, living out what you can afford, what you can do.
Absolutely, I understand where you're going with that, and you're entitled to an opinion. What we're trying to say to you is, if you had options, when you want to go to the best school,
Right.
if you had options, when you want to be married before you have children,
Right.
let's go with some more. If you had options, when you want to be married before you have your children and have a home that you can call your own,
Right.
when you rather have your own peace of mind and your own piece of property,
Right.
that's all we're talking about.
That sounds good, but you won't have to get mentally stable first. You
Well,
have to,
when do you think that happens? Do you think you're supposed to be working for that while you're young?
yeah, you have to build so you
Yeah.
can be great and successful.
You're watching my Sheila right now, one of our youth council leaders, and she has an opinion, and we respect her opinion. Come on, give us a call tonight, 312-738-1060. We're talking about what we can do to empower the community, to bring back peace and wholesomeness in the community. What can we do to bring back some dignity and a true agenda for our community? And I'm talking about what can we do as a community to bring men and women back into the lives of their children. That's what we're talking about. Now, sometimes marriages don't work, all right?
Right.
It happens, all right? But the child shouldn't suffer.
Right.
So now, and I'm not picking on you,
It's
but
cool.
but do you feel like you ever want your dad to be in your house and to be in your life?
No.
Do you don't?
No, because if I've grown to live without him and to be successful on my own with the help of my mom and my grandma and my sister, I can do without him for the rest of my life.
Okay. Well, I would think, that's what Miss Hudson was talking about. She was talking about stability, right? And she was talking about, do you think, well, let me back up off of that.
Right.
She was yeah. She was talking about stability, all right? And she was talking about the need for both parents in the lives of their children.
Right.
You believe that that would be a fairy tale life.
Yeah.
I believe that it's the way it should be, personally. I believe that the child, both male and female, need both parents. What do you think? Give us a call here, 312-738-1060. Is it important for children to have both parents in their lives in order for that child to grow up in a nurturing and healthy environment and possibly not become part of the statistics, all right?
Right.
So you're watching Fathers Who Care right now. Our number is 312-738-1060. For additional information about Fathers Who Care, log on to Fathers Who Care, tweet us on Fathers Who Care, and get in touch with us. I mean, we're doing stuff with the young people, trying to keep these young folks active. And these young folks can't be what they can't see. So if we really want these young folks to be the best that they can be, then we have to keep on investing in our young people. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
And so we want to thank all of those folks like Vera, thank you, Pearlie, we want to thank Bridget. Listen, we're talking about family values tonight. We're talking about, in spite of all the stuff that's going on around us, we need to get back to the real deal in our community. And the real deal is in our community is raise our children and make sure that our relationships with our significant others is wholesome relationships and God-fearing relationships. Now you heard Hudson was talking before. So what are you planning on doing for spring break? And what do you all have scheduled out there for our young people for spring break? What you got planned for spring break?
Basically, I need to catch up on my work, honestly.
So you're going to be doing your homework?
Yeah, half the time. Then sometime I'm going to spend time with my friends. Then I'm going to spend some time with my grandma. I haven't seen her in a while, and I miss her a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So what should young people be doing on this spring break in lieu of not getting caught up and getting out there and getting lit or whatever they call it?
They can actually go
turning up.
They can actually be productive and go actually spend some quality time, because you barely see that nowadays. Like, you will barely see children actually interacting with their siblings, with their parents, with their family. I feel
so you're saying some quality time with your family.
Family time is everything, because no matter,
time.
at the end of the day, your family always going to be there for you, no matter the decisions you make.
So you're encouraging folks, the young people, to get involved in some good programming around, and some good agencies with some good programs going in, but also spend some good quality time around the house.
Yeah.
With your family. Mm-hmm. Doing some cleanup.
Yeah, I like cleaning up with my family.
Yeah, doing some real cleanup, right?
Yeah.
That's why they call it cleanup break, right? Right?
Right.
But anyway, tell them again what you want them to do.
Actually spend quality time with your family, because the bond that you and your family have means the world, because friends come and go. Mm-hmm. You can have 1,000 friends.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they might switch up on you at any given moment. And your family will still be there to comfort you, to let you know that they will always be by your side no matter who is around.
Well, you're talking, this is my Sheila, one of our members of the Youth Council, the West Garfield Park Youth Council, and what we've been trying to do is just encourage our young folks today to understand that they are the voice of the future, and that we got to continue to pour into you all and invest in you all. And that's why I'm so thankful to have these young folks over here producing these shows every week. And I want to thank you all for watching and for tuning in. And I want you all, as we move on, Nisha, I miss you too, girl. As we move on into to this spring break, please don't put yourself in harm's way. Let's get the caller. Caller, you on there? Your comment or question, please.
Hey, good evening, Reverend. Good evening, Marcella. How you doing?
Hello.
How you doing?
How you doing this evening?
We're doing well, and you?
Okay. I got a comment for that young lady.
Okay.
How about we start up a friendship club? In the old days, we used to pass around letters and start up friendship clubs.
Club.
Sometimes young people don't have mom and dads. They only have friends to rely on. Groups and people they can call in the middle of the night when they ain't got nobody to talk to. You kids need to make more friends with each other. And may I ask you a question, Reverend?
Sure, go ahead.
The other day they had a march out, all the students all over the whole country to have the police protect you guys in school, right?
Right.
How in the heck, what happened down there at Walmart? When something like that happens, and everybody's marching for something good, and you see somebody in your neighborhood tearing up a store, try to help to get the heck away from them.
Okay.
And march on down for what you're standing for. Don't hang up. Can you hear me, Reverend?
I hear you. I hear you.
These kids are so strong. I was so proud of them to all walk out.
Okay.
To get the protection.
Here goes a question though tonight. What can we do? What can we do to encourage these young folks to stay away from violence, to stay away from drugs, to stay away from illegal activities, and to be actively involved in positive activities? Sheila said for spring break that young folks should be actively involved with their parents or with their families, spending quality time with their family. We talked to Ms. Hudson. Ms. Hudson said that we need to get back to some of the family values and praying with each other. What you think?
Well, my observation would be to hang around you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. My observation would be contact you and keep hold of you all summer, spring, summer, winter, whatever, because you got a lot of sprite, a lot of brains on the mind. But for the children, you guys stick together, try to make some kind of organizations. You could yourself right on TV start an organization. You got to stick together. Get to church a little bit more often. Pray, stay together, pray for peace.
All right.
Pray for peace, Reverend.
Thank
And
you
God
so very
bless
much
you
for the
all.
call.
Thank
The
you.
time on
Good
the wall is rolling down, but we want to keep it moving. I want to thank all of those on Facebook who's following us over here. We're talking about bringing unity and harmony back into our community, and what does that mean? We talked about families spending more quality time with each other. We're talking about young folks respecting their elders, and we're talking about young folks going that extra mile to be the best that they can be, right?
Right.
And we're talking about particularly you, my Sheila. I asked you a simple question, and you just surprised me. No, you really didn't surprise me. I
Right.
expected that. All right. When I said, "What you gonna do for your spring break as opposed to like other folks?" You say, "I'm gonna be catching up on my work." That's what you need, all right?
Yeah.
Because see, that kind of determines your future. You never know. You may get some scholarships. They will give you these scholarships to go to these renowned colleges, and you'll come back and help take care of us.
Right.
So tell the young folks again what they should be doing with their lives these days, as opposed to hanging out on the streets, picking up guns and getting lit and using the loud and the lean and all of this stuff. Tell them what they should be doing instead.
Y'all should actually be productive. No simple as staying in the house, cleaning up, playing a video game. Just be somewhere safe and don't just. I don't know.
I got you. Stay positive, right?
Right. Stay positive.
Stay positive. Do positive things, and be respectful of your parents. Be respectful of your parents, because what goes around comes around. And the word said, a disobedient child days are numbered. So we want to tell you young folks, be careful out there. Also, I want to encourage you all to come to the meeting on the 27th. It's going to be a community roundtable meeting. The community roundtable meeting is going to be about permanent changes to policies and trainings within the CPD. And also, I want to share this about, there's going to be a block club pop-up if you want to do something actively tomorrow. It's going to be on the corner of Menard, 1000 North Menard. Free food, refreshments. Come on out and show the community that you love us, that you love them. And we're trying to do this to stop the violence. So we just doing pop-ups all over the community, just to let you all know that when we come together, when we unify, and we let the community know that we care about each other, then the community start caring, and then you have less violence, all right? But when the community feel like nobody cares, then nobody cares. And we want to let you young people know how much we love you, and that we want you young people to know that if you really want to bring back change, or you want to bring harmony in the community, and you want to really set a tone for a real agenda in our community, then you have to understand that we stand on the shoulders of other folks, and that we got to do our best to be the best.
Right.
So the best thing you can do right now, my Sheila, at your age, is go to school and be the best student you can be. Tell the young people out there how much you care about them and what you want them to do. And then we're going to have to close. Just tell them how much you care about them, and tell them to join your group.
Join Fathers Who Cares.
And the West Garfield Park Youth Council, right?
Yeah, and the West Garfield Park Youth Council.
So with that being said, we want to thank you all so very much for all that you do and how you do it and what you've been doing. And we're just going to close out this segment right here, and we're going to go into, if you don't mind, we're going to go into a few comments, my Sheila, on Facebook Live. How old are you now?
17.
17. So much, Sheila, as we close out that, thank you, Amari, and thank you, Walter, and thank you, Miss Hudson, and thank you all you beautiful people.